Hey everybody, JitteryJay here. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Up next today, we're checking out John Branyan. This is Deep Thoughts on Dumb Things. Now, the last thing I did from him was the Three Little Pigs like you've never heard before. And that was absolutely hilarious. Um, I'm expecting good things here, but we're going to check this out and find out. First thing we're going to do is hit the like and subscribe on the original video. That's the important part. Just show support everywhere we go. Um, to that effect, everything will be linked in the description below, including the original video. Uh, for those who want to go follow John on his socials. That being said, let's click that on, make sure that's coming out right, and then let's get into this and see what he's got for us. Instant comedy brings universal laughter. Yeah.
But you know what? We don't really get paid according to how difficult the job is. We don't. We don't get paid by how hard the job is. If we did, trapeze artists would be the highest paid people on the planet.
Right.
John Branyan is one of our more popular comedians on Focus on the Family, and I'm sure you'll get a kick out of what he has to share today, including some observations on why we do the jobs we do, and a great closing story about the unique value of every human life.
Okay.
John has been in the entertainment business for over 25 years and has also written some humorous books. Here's John Branyan on today's edition of Focus on the Family.
Okay. I thought this was just a stand-up bit.
Here we are. All right, I will tell you, I
Maybe
don't
it
have
is.
to tell you, but I'm taping this in Indiana. I'm taping this in Hoosier land because I'm a Hoosier. I'm a native. Yep. And I like living in the Midwest, and I will tell you why. Because I think in the Midwest we have heart, we have spirit, we have sensibilities that are different from the rest of the country. Now, the rest of the country, particularly the coast, either coast, pick one. East Coast, West Coast, doesn't matter. West Coast more so, are a little bit uppity about where they're from. You know, people out in California,
Right.
they think they're all that in a bag of chips. And they find out that I'm from Indiana, which they refer to as flyover country, by the way. Flyover country. They find out that I'm from Indiana, they say stuff to me like, "Oh, you're from Indiana? Why?" Out here on the West Coast, we've
I get the same thing being from Ohio. It's like, why do you live there? Not a clue. Just got stuck here. As all. Anyway.
Why? Out here on the West Coast, we've got everything. We've got the sunshine, we've got the sand, we've got surf, we've got Hollywood. What have you got? Well, we have all of your food.
Right?
So you eat that sand, surfer boy. I actually got a brochure. I got a brochure in the mail from Napa Valley, California. And Napa Valley is famous for wine. We all got the same brochure. And they wanted me to come to Napa Valley and get this, spend my entire vacation touring the vineyards. That's what the whole brochure was about. Come to Napa Valley and tour the brochure. Come to Napa Valley and tour the vineyards. Walk the path where Ernest and Julio Gallo have walked. See the wine presses in operation.
Yeah.
A vineyard is just a fancy word for a grape farm.
Right?
That's it. I've seen lots of farms where I'm from. I think we should send them brochures out on the West Coast, huh? Hey, why don't you all come to Indiana and look at our maize yards? Yeah, walk the path where Orville and Gary Redenbacher have walked.
Yeah. It's a lot of corn and soybeans. It's mainly what's grown around here. So I get that a lot. The maize fields. Yeah.
Watch the natives detassel. Just a little bit bitter.
A little bit.
I love living in the Midwest. And here's my general philosophy about life. It's pretty simple. I think that anything that is important to us, God surrounds us with. I think the most important things that we're supposed to have in life, God builds in right around us, like air. It's pretty important to most of us. You got to breathe a couple, 3 times a day. God knows that you need air, so he surrounds us with air so we can get it. Because let's face it, come on, if we had to go out and look for air when we needed it, we'd procrastinate.
Right.
It's like, gosh, I could really use a breath of air. But next commercial. So he surrounds us with it. And I think the same is true of laughter. I think laughter is important enough to the human condition that God has built it into creation. All you have to do is open up your eyes. Open up your eyes and you'll find stuff to laugh about. He has made it. He's made funny stuff everywhere. And don't take yourself too seriously. It's a pretty simple message. Don't take yourself all that seriously.
Right.
We try to let our jobs define us. There are lots and lots of jobs out there that you can do. And understanding that your job is a dead-end job and it's not that important, then there's all kinds of freedom and latitude to do stuff. And I love to watch what people do for a living. Car salesmen. Car salesmen are the whole car sales industry fascinates me because they advertise cars as all new. You see the commercials come on, it's like the all new Pontiac. All new is my favorite phrase of that. Because wouldn't you, when you buy a new car, expect it to be all new?
Right.
Wouldn't it surprise you if it was mostly new? The mostly new Pontiac. It's all new except for the steering wheel, which we got from a 75 Gremlin. And it's got an 8-track.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I remember 8 tracks. Vaguely. That was just before my time as when those were popular. And my uncle still had a bunch of them when I was like 7, 8. And I was staying with him. We were living with him for a little bit, and he's the one that introduced me to AC/DC on 8-track. It was 74 Jailbreak was the name of the album. But yeah, that was a good album.
Which we got from a 75 Gremlin. And it's got an 8-track. But I like the way car salesmen operate, because car salesmen have got these amazing techniques that they use to sell us cars. Like the primary technique that the car salesmen use, at least the one I've been exposed to, is that they try to convince you that they're crazy, and somehow that's going to convince you to buy a car. We're slashing prices down here at the car lot. We're absolutely crazy. We're out of our minds. I don't know what we're even doing. The boss has gone away on vacation. We're trying to move these cars off the lot as fast as we can. We're nuts. We're foaming at the mouth. We're swinging our arms around. I'm scribbling on myself with a magic marker. I want you to buy this car. Oh!
I've seen those commercials.
I'm going to need to take a test drive.
Right?
Car salesmen are the only people that get away with that. There's no other job in the world where you go into a restaurant, the chef's not going to come out of the kitchen. Oh, we're slashing prices on the surf and turf. We're out of our mind. I don't know what we're doing. Come on and buy it. I don't even know what's in here. It could be mercury and fiberglass. We're out of our minds. You know what you should do on Monday morning is you should try that at your job. Just go in and be crazy and see if they give you a pay raise. Here's a job I don't think I could do. Dentist. I don't know. Evidently we're in agreement on
Somebody yell.
on Monday morning is you should try that at your job. Just go in and be crazy and See if they give you a pay raise. Here's a job I don't think I could do, dentist. I don't know. Evidently we're in agreement on that one over here. Dentist. Dentists have got it really difficult because, you know, dentists are the only people who can't move away from bad breath.
Right.
The rest
Never
of us
thought
all
of it
get
like
to.
that.
Dentists also are, people are afraid of them. People don't like to visit them, I think. Okay, we're in agreement on that. Because really, and I think I've narrowed it down. I think I know what it is. It's the waiting room at the dentist's office. Because you go into the waiting room, right, and you're sitting there trying to read a magazine. And they've always got really interesting magazines at the waiting room, too, to take your mind off of stuff. You know, like dentist magazines. You just flip through that and figure out how to do a root canal. And that takes your mind right off of it. So you're flipping through the magazine, but the thing is you can hear stuff, right? You can hear what's going on back there in the other room. And just the drill, that drill. So you're sitting there listening to the music and... So I have a solution. Rather than spending all of this technology money on how to make the internet faster, I think we should spend money on dental equipment. Figure out how to make the dental drill sound like a circus calliope. Then you'd be sitting in the waiting room and hear... Here's an even better idea, if you can imagine one. Hard as it is to believe. Get away from the dental waiting room altogether. Eliminate appointments. Because that's what freaks you out, right? When you know you've got a dental appointment coming, it ruins your whole year.
Yeah.
Every 6 months, you got to go in there and just ruins it because you know it's coming. You're counting the days. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. So get rid of the appointments. You don't have to make dental appointments anymore. All you have to do is tell the dentist that you need some dental work done. And all dentists across the United States take ninja training. So you don't need an appointment because dentistry can strike like the craw of the dragon. You never know when it was going to happen. You'd be going through a train tunnel, and the lights go out. What was that? I don't know, but I got braces. So it doesn't matter what your job is. Everybody's important. Everybody's job is a dead-end job, and it doesn't matter because we transcend our jobs. Our intrinsic value is not based on what we do for a living.
Right.
And everybody's important. Everybody's important. Every job in some way is important. I was reading in a newspaper recently, and there was a guy in Australia. So he wasn't a Hoosier. The guy over in Australia had a little bit too much to drink, decided to go swimming. So he wades out into this pond and then dives headfirst into a crocodile's mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not the funny part. So the guy's okay, all right? So he survived the whole incident. He climbed out and went to get some stitches. But they were interviewing this guy, and he said at first it felt a lot like diving into a pile of rocks. So he's got a frame of reference for...
Okay.
This is not the first lousy dive he's ever made. First it felt like a pile of rocks. And then, but my favorite quote from the whole story came from the game warden. The game warden who was on the scene doing his job. he was saying something. He was trying to teach a lesson, trying to say something that would be helpful and wise in the newspaper. And so his quote was, yeah, alcohol, swimming, and crocodiles are a dangerous mix.
Right? Got a point.
Pretty much anytime you add crocodiles to the mix, you know, pillows, baby ducklings, and crocodiles. Are a dangerous mix. We're thinking about putting crocodiles in the church nursery this week. It's fine, just check the toys for lead content. Got no problem with the crocodiles. All right. I get to do a lot of traveling because as difficult as it may be to believe, I can't make a living in Westfield, Indiana. So I travel. And again, airports, planes, traveling is another sense that I get the feeling that God is smiling down on me and giving me things to laugh about, because there are funny things that happen all the time at the airport. At the airport, if you go through, you'll notice that there are very few signs anymore telling people what to do. Instead, they've been replaced by pre-recorded electronic voices, right? That just announce everything you have to know at the airport. All the important, vital information, like don't leave your bag unattended. Don't leave your bag unattended. Do not turn your back on your bag for a second. Look around. Can you see your bag? Can you? You better find it, because if we find your bag, we're gonna blow your bag to pieces. Have a nice flight. And they tell you don't to give your bag. Don't give your bag to strangers. Don't accept bags from people you don't know. Who does that? Nobody does it. Here, take this with you to Denver. Go. Go. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I'll meet you there. Just go.
All right.
Here's his diaper bag in case he fusses. The stuff they say at airports, the stuff they say, you know, when you actually get on the plane, they make announcements. The first thing they tell you when you get on the plane is they tell you where the bathrooms are. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to point out that the bathrooms are located at the front and the rear of the airplane. No kidding. It's pretty much a hallway. Where else are they going to be?
Right.
Plane. Are there people going through the overhead bins during flight? And they tell you, this is my favorite announcement that they make. The captain usually makes it just before they land. They'll come on the speaker and they'll say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've been cleared for landing." And they always say it like they're a little bit surprised that happened. You know? We didn't know what to expect when we took off, but good news! We get to land in Denver! Like sometime they're going to come over and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, we've not been cleared for landing."
Right.
Yeah, evidently the pilot and the tower guy had a fight over a woman a few years ago. And we're just going to have to veer out over Lake Michigan until we run out of gas. But your seat cushion floats. Little voices telling you things. You know, and they've got that little voice at the airport is everywhere. It's on the end of the moving sidewalk. Have you been on that ride at the airport? At the end of the moving sidewalk, the voice comes over and says, "The moving sidewalk is coming to an end. So, you better get off the moving sidewalk." Who's this for? Who gets on at the other end and goes, "You know what? I'm taking this to Nashville."
Right.
But they don't put it everywhere where I think that they would put it if they think we're that stupid. They don't put it on the revolving door out front of the airport. There's no voice, "Hey, you're going in a circle." Everything looks familiar because you've been here before. Have you noticed that they don't put handles on the toilets anymore in public restrooms? There's no handles anymore. They
Right.
don't think us capable of operating that complicated mechanism on our own. Now they have the electric eye that just watches you. And just flushes whenever it feels like it. It's pretty loud, isn't it? Do we need that much suction in a toilet? What are people putting in there? And the cat died. What should I do with him? Take him to the airport. Flush him. They got the same device. They got the same electric eye on the faucets on the sink, but you cannot get water to come out of those no matter how hard you try.
Ain't that the damn truth? Even the ones at the stores are like that. It don't have to be at the airport. All the ones at Walmart are like that. You held your hand under it, it doesn't do anything. You got to pull your hand away, and it sprays a little bit of water. I was like, seriously? It's like they fixed everything except that particular infrared eye.
Suction in a
Or
toilet? What are
motion
people
sensor.
putting in
Right.
there? And the cat died. What should I do with him? Take him to the airport. Flush him.
That got me.
They got the same device. They got the same electric eye on the faucets on the sink, but you cannot get water to come out of those no matter how hard you try. Got to stand in front of it doing the water come forth dance. I just dip my hands in the toilet.
Jeez.
Electric hand dryers. They got those electric hand dryers now in the restrooms. Those are for your convenience, and they're also for your protection because they're more sanitary than paper towels. That's what it says right there. More sanitary. It's for your protection. You ever been in a hotel and they've got that paper ring around the toilet seat and it says the same thing, for your protection? Doesn't that make you feel a lot more secure? Sometimes I see that. I don't even lock the door to the room. The paper towels there, so after you wash your hands.
Right. That's about it. Now they're saying that those machines are more unsanitary than the napkins. Because they recycle the air that's already in the bathroom.
Yeah, because it's way more sanitary to do this after you wash your hands. That's how surgeons scrub up. They just... Competition. People take themselves too seriously with competition, competitiveness, and that's just no fun. You know, it's no fun to play with a really hyper competitive person. At least that's what my family tells me. I just can't help it. You know, I get that. I want to win. You know, like the day after I beat my wife and my 8-year-old daughter at Uno, like ESPN's going to show up. It's like, John, you won at Uno last night. What are your plans now? Well, scouts were impressed, huh? Yeah. You know, bragging rights, it doesn't matter, bragging rights, they don't even last 24 hours. You can't sit next to the guy on the plane the next day and say, hey, I destroyed my son at Candyland last night. Blew him right out of a molasses swamp. When I learned this lesson, I was in elementary school. I learned a lesson that you shouldn't take yourself too seriously about the wrong things. But about the right things, you need to understand just how important and vital and crucial you are. I learned that in elementary school from King Tut. When I was in elementary school, we took a field trip to the Field Museum to see King Tut. And I don't know if any of you guys know him.
Yeah.
King Tut was an Egyptian pharaoh who they discovered his tomb a few years ago, and they put these articles from the tomb on display. And when they did that, they allowed people to come in and look at it. Now, when you're a pharaoh and you die, they bury you with treasure. They bury you with all kinds of artifacts and things that they think you're going to need in the afterlife. You know, so they put food in there, and gold and silver and cats, which I still think is a great idea. So they put you in all these things, and they found King Tut's tomb, and they took all these artifacts out of his tomb, and they put them on display in the Field Museum. Now, they allowed our little group to go in and see it. So we're on our way in to see the King Tut Museum, and I'm a little fifth grader, and it's pretty exciting because my whole class is lined up in front of me. We're on our way in, and it's cavernous. It's this huge door that's pitch black inside, and we're lined up, and we're pretty excited because we're going to go and see King Tut's treasures. Okay. So we're on our way in, and as we get closer to the door, I notice that there's guards. There's 2 armed guards on each side of the door, standing there with their guns, and they're guarding these treasures. And so now we're really excited. It's like, wow, they got guards guarding the treasures of King Tut. This is going to be so cool. So we're on our way in, and we're making our way back and forth in the little maze of ropes. You know, they put the ropes up, and you got to walk back and forth because it's a security thing. And we're making our way back and forth in the ropes, and I'm trying to see in there, and I notice that there's a sign next to the exhibit hall that says no flash photography, no lights, no video of any kind, because these articles are so precious and so delicate that even light will cause them to decompose and to break apart. So you can't even take pictures of this stuff. It's so precious. So now we're really excited. We're on our way in, and I'm just to the doorway, and I look in, and I can see in front of my classmates the first display case. It's this plexiglass case that's lit with red lights, because there can't be any lights in there. And there's another armed guard standing right there next to that first case. So I can't wait. And I'm getting closer and closer, and I'm standing right next to the box, right next to the case. And I look in, and I still get goosebumps thinking about it. I look in, and there, underneath the red lights, with 2 armed guards at the door, was a broken piece of pottery.
I imagine that's not very exciting to a 5th grader. just from the way he acts it right here. The sarcasm showing through.
I know. And here's what occurred to me since then. It didn't occur to me on that day. It was kind of a disappointment on that day. But what occurred to me since then is that me and you are like that pottery. We're all cracked pots. And that's the good news. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. You've looked in the mirror before. Most of you.
We're all unique.
And looking back, sometimes you're not very impressed with what you see, are you? And sometimes you don't have to look in the mirror. Sometimes you're just not impressed with you ever. Right. You're not as smart. You're not as pretty. You don't have as much money. You don't have... There's all kinds of things. You know what you're not. You know what's wrong with you. You know where the cracks are in your vessel. We're all broken pieces of pottery. Broken pieces of pottery. But that particular piece of pottery was guarded by 3 armed guards. They wouldn't even let light hit it. It was underneath plexiglass, protected. Why? 2 things. Because it was unique
Right.
There was only one of a kind like it in the entire world, and because of who it belonged to, who owned it. By nature of those two criterion, you are infinitely priceless. Because A, there's only one of you. In the history of mankind, there has only been one of you, and there's only going to be one of you. From this day forward, and from the beginning of time till now, one. Out of all of the people who've existed and all the people who are going to exist, you are the only you that there will ever be.
It's deep.
And you are owned by a creator. The person who made you was a master artisan. So by the nature of those two criterion, you should be under plexiglass. Under plexiglass. Lighten up. Don't take things too seriously. Don't get so worked up about things, because you are unique. If you don't sing the song you're supposed to sing, it never gets sung. If you don't do the task that you're supposed to do, it never gets done. How's that for important? How's that for crucial? It'll never get done if you don't do it, because you're the only one capable of doing it. You are priceless.
I like that. I like that message there.
Wow, what a great presentation from our guest, John Branyan. And I love that admonition that we are all unique individuals and that each of us has something special to contribute to society.
All right, this is not part of the comedy. This is, yeah, just giving the numbers for the show. Anyway, this was very interesting. You got into some deep thoughts there at the end. His comedy reminds me of that gentleman right there, Tim Hawkins. And his comedy is all clean as well. First came across John on Dry Bar Comedy, which is where I find a lot of clean comics. They have some of the best clean comics I've ever heard on there. Anyway, I thought this was very interesting and very funny. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it in the comments. Let me know what else I need to check out, and I will get there as soon as I possibly can. If you're still here and haven't done so yet, I'd be ever so grateful if you'd hit the like and subscribe buttons before you go. It goes a long way towards helping this channel grow, and it shows up in my analytics, lets me know that you want more content like this. That being said, that is just about going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me, and I hope to see you on the next one. I love you guys. Peace. Hey guys, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here at JitteryJay.